We have as our special guest the Senator of Grand Bassa County, Senator Gbehzohngar Findley. He's also the chairman of the Grand Bassa Legislative Caucus. He's also a former pro-temp and also a former foreign minister. Senator, good morning. How are you?
Morning. Morning.
Great to talk to you at this time. How is the county?
Well, the county is there. We're not up and running yet. You know, the government is still being formed. Our superintendent and the local officials, some of the local officials just been confirmed and appointed. So we look forward to things happening in the county.
Okay. But I know, I mean, you know, as chair of the caucus of the county, there are still things that you're looking after. I mean, development-wise, anyway, even though, you know, the local government is still being formed in the county.
Yeah, the county, Bassa, you know, is strategic to the economic growth of Liberia, especially to the mining sector where we have the port. Agriculture is also a key pillar in the growth and development. And so we are fortunate to have those two sectors in Bassa.
Okay. Let me begin by asking if you ever considered contesting as pro-temp.
Yeah,
this term.
I come from the opposition bloc, and the opposition bloc had a candidate that we all rallied behind, and misfortune came our way, and so I had to step into that particular gap. And after consultation, the bloc decided that we'll go with Senator Lawrence, and that's what
you knew that she was contesting anyway.
Oh yeah, the issue is she was from a different bloc.
But you're from the same county.
It doesn't matter. The political ideology is different. So when you look at that, you're not on the same political wavelength. You have a different agenda. The opposition has a different agenda. Both opposition and ruling party objective is to improve the lives of the Liberian people. But the mechanism through which you want to use is where the issue becomes and the differences become. But I don't see that stopping one group from saying they need to contest.
With that said, are you a member of a political party?
No, I'm not.
I remember.
I'm an independent.
Yeah, but you associated with the ANC 2023.
I associated with ANC. I've associated with.
You didn't take up membership there?
I did not take a membership with ANC.
Okay.
There was one political party that I took membership with, and I think I spent about 6 months as member of that political party, and I left.
Well, was that the shortest ever membership you've had of an organization?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I didn't stay very long.
But Senator, I want us to begin with the county. There are issues in the county, and I know you're not the only lawmaker from Grand Bassa County, but I thought as chairman of the caucus, you have experience. The citizens that are raising issues, for example, the bridge leading to the Grand Bassa University, and also the issue of electricity, are concerns on the lips of the citizens. Are you aware of that?
Very aware of that. My platform 2023 was to bring current into the city of Buchanan. That process is ongoing. I'm sure by next month they will see activities are ongoing right now with electricity for Buchanan City. So the city of Buchanan will see movement and work being done to transport the current in the distribution line, and also then of course when you do the transmission lines, then you go to distribution. So those transmission lines, as you know, there are no way to transport the current. So now that's what is going to start to happen probably next month.
Okay.
We see the rural electrical electrification entity going to Buchanan, doing the groundbreaking in Buchanan. So that is going to be resolved. The bridge, there's funding for the bridge in this budget, which we hope will pass today or tomorrow. The budget, we should have completed the budget.
Okay.
So all of the concerns are concerns that are being addressed, both with the caucus and the legislature and the executive are working together to get those projects ongoing.
But that particular breach, I can understand with the legislative issue, but that particular breach is not the only breach that the people of Bassa have problem with. There is another breach that connects that whole community, and ArcelorMittal has used to use that place, but they rather take the road from that whole route. I don't know if you know. Right now they own your own road. I don't know if you know.
Well, that bridge is the bridge between ArcelorMittal premises and Buchanan City, which
why ArcelorMittal not fixing that bridge?
Which has been a problem, and so they could not use that bridge with heavy vehicles. It's my understanding that they are presently doing some repairs to that particular bridge. I think the repairs are ongoing. So we look forward to that.
Okay. I don't know if you say look forward to that. Are you putting pressure on ArcelorMittal to do that bridge or what?
You know, ArcelorMittal and I are in court.
I don't know about that.
Oh, well, I'm letting you know now that we've been in court because I sued.
You sue ArcelorMittal?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because they're not following the agreement. The MDA calls for certain things to be done, and those things were not done for the last, well, I sued in 2021. And prior to 2021, they were not doing what they said they would do. And so my lawsuit was basically to say, well, look, if you're not doing what you should have done and what you said you would have done, then leave Liberia.
Is that an individual lawsuit or the caucus?
Yeah. No. I'm just joining the caucus since January. So, you know, I wasn't a lawmaker prior to January 2024. So as a citizen of Bassa, I sue.
Okay. So where are we with that case?
The case is still in the court.
In Bassa or?
In Bassa.
Okay. Okay. You know, Grand Bassa County, like some of the hugely politically charged counties like my county, Bong, there's always this issue about division amongst leaders, people fighting for supremacy here and there. You know, popular amongst you and Senator Yombli Kaga Lawrence. Has there been a reconciliatory engagement to unite the caucus and foster development together?
Well, look, I think people misunderstand political division or political differences. And political differences does not mean that you are not united, that you don't have one particular goal. It's a question, again, of how you do it. And that is not unique to Bassa or Bong. All counties, all political institutions, even the great United States, all our neighbors, Sierra Leone, have these problems. And when you see these kinds of problems, is the way it is managed. Okay, I mean, sometime in December of last year, everybody was calling Bassa is divided. Bassa you need reconciliation meeting. When Yombli became, since Senator Lawrence have taken the pro-temp, nobody talking about reconciliation in Bassa.
But you're the chairman of the caucus.
Yes, I'm the chairman of the caucus. And what we're doing, basically, we will all not agree on one issue, but we must practice the democracy. The majority will have their way. In addition to that, we need to sit around the table and discuss our differences, because it's not about us as individuals. It's about the people of Bassa getting the benefit of the national pie and the development that they basically are entitled to.
But we haven't seen any semblance of that.
Yeah,
I'm not aware of any meeting with you and then the rest of the caucus, including Senator
We've had several meetings.
Lawrence?
We've had several meetings in Senator Pro-temp's office, Senator Lawrence's office.
Okay.
So the caucus is meeting. We've met maybe 5 or 6 times.
Mm.
We even having discussion around the county meet. We a lot of things are being coordinated. You know, people sit on the outside and just think that everything is just fight. Everything is not fight.
Because that's the impression they've been getting.
Because that's the wrong impression people are giving. There's somebody there giving some impression that there's a big fight. Look, I came out of Bassa with 55,000 plus votes. Never in the history that have happened in Bassa. So it's not about fighting a political party. I took on all the political parties in this country, 2023, and all of them that participated in the senatorial race in Bassa, I beat them. All the political parties. So it's not about political differences or who is who and who is not. The mandate the people have given us is what we need to work for. Forget about what we feel about ourselves, what we want to promote, who we want to promote. That's not even the issue. Because the bottom line is when the election comes, you're going to the people to ask for their support and their vote and their power. And that is where it matters. If you don't deliver to them, they will reject you.
So when do we see a manifestation of some tangibles out of the meetings you've had amongst you leaders of the the country? I mean, development-wise,
Kamara,
because it's one thing to have the meeting.
Kamara,
it's another thing to see what
Kamara,
comes out of the meeting.
You want to know, you're asking some very good questions. And the budget is where you talk about development. You can't talk development with all money. It's not possible. So when the budget passes, you have our social development fund in that budget. You have the county development fund in that budget. You have the salaries and support for projects in that budget. And it's only 3 months. Roughly, we're in the 4th month now of this government. We have not even passed a budget. So even it's not only unique to Bassa, the entire country right now is waiting for us to pass that budget. And we are almost there. In fact, I would say today we look forward to the budget being passed from the House, and maybe tomorrow the Senate might concur. I don't know, but we've been working very hard over the last 4 weeks on this budget.
Since you mentioned the budget, I want to stick to it. This is the first budget of the United Party government. I just want to know from your end personally, what is your impression about the budget, and what is it that doesn't impress you about the budget?
Look, I chair the Revenue Committee from the Senate, and so I've been with this budget for the last 4 weeks. It's a very tight budget. It's a budget that, one would say, I would describe it as a rush budget.
A rush budget.
Budget.
You blame it on anybody?
I'm not blaming anybody. This is a system that we have. When a new government come in the first year, it's always the priority of the government doesn't sync with the budget, because everybody that is coming is basically new. And so it would take them some time to be able to address some of the issues. If you ask me, the budget doesn't really speak to the priority of the president or of his annual message. But that is the budget of the executive. But I can tell you, the legislature, when the report comes out, the legislature have been very strong in this budget discussion. We got some very good discussion that went on, some very good inputs. So it's not only going to be a budget that will just be a budget the legislature pass. You're going to see a different kind of legislature now with the budget and the implementation of the budget. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of policies. We have to grow the budget. $692 million is peanuts. It's nothing. There's nothing for development for our country. So everybody wants something more. Even LBS is not getting what they should get what they feel they need to get to run the institution. So, and that is across the board with all institutions. So what we have to do is to look at the kind of policies that we need to grow the revenue envelope. We have to. There's no if and about it. And those policies have to come from the executive. They have to take the lead. If they don't take the lead, the opposition needs to speak to it. So this budget that all of us are working with is not a budget that can really move this country. If you look at the project side of the budget, I'm sorry to say, we have issues.
So you don't expect this budget to do anything this year?
No, I don't think it's going to be significant. The budget is not significant to say the agenda of what we see or the annual message of the president. This budget will be able to address it.
But we have the 100 days deliverables being rolled out. Are you aware of it?
I don't want to speak to the 100 days deliverables because I don't see anything being delivered in 100 days. I'm.
How can you say so? I mean, you've seen the fleet of equipment on roads in the southeast, in Lofa, in other areas. In Bong County, you see the fleet of equipment doing roads.
Well, my colleagues from those counties have not brought those projects and those deliverables to our attention. I'm not in Lofa, I'm not in Bong. I've been to Bong, but I've been on the paved road. I've been to Mangibi, I've been to Bumi, and I've been to Bassa since I came to Monrovia briefly. And I don't think that the 100 days deliverable can be delivered without a budget. The government ran on 112. We've approved $41 million in February. What can you do with it? 60% of that money has been going to salaries.
But will you blame the government if nothing is done?
Yes.
Giving
yes,
Yes,
I will have to blame the government because it's the government, is the head of the government that made
given
the
our transitional period, given our transitional period, it's historical.
Well, the president made a statement that within 100 days I will do X, Y, Z, or we will do X, Y, Z. Are those things done? Are they done? No.
Some of them.
Well, then you will mark those ones that are done, and those ones that are not done, we have to say that it wasn't done. We have to.
Well, they said it hasn't been done.
Well, I need to really wait for the 100 days. I think we got 2 more days or 3 more days left.
But
then we can't quit it. They still got 2 more days to complete what they said they would do.
But there are projects that will continue even after the 100 days.
Well, we know that.
So, wisdom of the president.
We know that.
Yeah.
That is known. But let's wait for the 2 more days, and we will look at and do the assessment that you said you're going to move the needle from right to left at 4 degrees. Have you reached the 4 degrees? Yes or no? It's as simple as that.
He announced audits
Well,
ongoing. He announced asset declaration.
Well, I declare my asset before anybody else in this country, almost.
When you declare,
I declare my go to LACC and ask them. My asset been declared. In fact, I think I was the first lawmaker to declare my asset.
From the Senate, right?
I said I was the first lawmaker. You said the Senate.
Okay, Senator Findley. Let's come to. I mean, a couple of things happening up Capitol Hill. One of them was just the budget that we just talked about. You have some bleak expectation about the budget. But let's come to this, the resolution for war and economic crimes code. You signed a resolution?
I was the last to sign.
The last to sign. You signed with reservations or?
Yes.
Why?
Well, look, I do believe that when you talk about war crime, economic crime code, you have you are implementing the TRC report. You see, we need to read the TRC report. In that TRC report, they have several recommendations. The other issue is you had 9 members on this TRC body, commissioners. Out of the 9, 4 signed, the minority signed, the majority didn't sign. Okay? Therefore, we are implementing the minority opinion. That's one. 2, there are probably 103, 6 persons. Let's say 105, because you take the legislature, 103, the president, and the vice president, that's 105, plus the 4, that 109 persons that will be implementing the minority opinion. My position is simple. We are in the minority. Yes, we are leaders. Yes, we've been elected. But let's go for a referendum. Let the Liberian people decide they want a war crime, economic crime court. What's wrong with going for a referendum so your voice can be heard? Your neighbor voice can be heard. The people in the village voice can be heard. This issue is not an issue for urban people. 2010, we went around this country, lawmakers, to hold town hall meetings. And in Bassa, the result I got, 90% of the people wanted forgiveness.
They don't want to walk.
They didn't opt for a war crime court. If you want a war crime court, let's go for a referendum, because there are people who perpetrated people in the villages, who bind people villages, who bind their neighbors' homes in the villages, and are still there living together.
But yes, still you didn't listen.
Wait. What about those people getting justice? If we want to talk about justice, let it be brought. Let it be brought. And this is where the problem is. What is wrong if the majority of Liberian people go for a referendum and say we want war crime court? Is the view and the opinion of the people, and that is what should matters.
But yes, still you sign against the opinion.
I signed.
Opinion against.
No. I signed with reservation.
So they had on the resolution, they had reservation there where you
don't
sign, but you state your reservation.
No, look, if the majority of the Senate voted for something, and that is the will of the majority, as the minority, I've had my say. I was given an opportunity to give my say, to talk my own, and I talk my own.
But it was not written anyway.
But if you follow the debate in the Senate, I said what I had to say. This is not my first time. Even when I was foreign minister, I brought up this issue of a referendum. Let the majority of Liberian people talk, speak, not a handful of people.
Is it still late?
Well, I don't know. It's up to the issue is the resolution. It's up to the president to decide the direction he wants to take. It's up to the executive.
But you have a power.
The legislature have given their view and their blessing to this process. We all had a say. We said what we had to say, and we are going basically to move on. This is not an issue that we need to waste time with. It's been around for almost 20-something years.
The point is, you had the opportunity to lobby against a resolution.
No, I was not lobbying against a resolution. I'm saying you want a war crime court. There's 109 Liberians that are taking an opinion from the TRC report. Don't forget, that's where it's coming from. And there are almost 4 million Liberians who don't have a say. And let those 4+ million Liberians have a say in this process by giving them the chance to say yes or no to a war crime court. That's my position. So I lobby, I said it, and the majority didn't feel that's the way we should go, and so be it.
After sampling the views of your people in Bassa, and according to you, 90% of the people said, well, they don't want it, they want forgiveness. And yet still you signed a resolution for the establishment.
I had a...
When you go back to Bassa, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them what I have to tell them. The fact of the matter is that I represent the interest and the view of the people of Bassa. I had 36 town hall meetings in Bassa in 2010. 36. So I'm not one of those people who just say I went to one village or I went to Buchanan City. No. I went to areas where I've been affected greatly by the Civil War. by the crisis. And that was the response. Then, now I can guarantee you, I'll tell you why nobody will want to go for a referendum. Because you and I get the majority of the Liberian people to say yes to war crime court.
Why will you say that?
But let's go for a referendum then.
But
that's my view. That's my opinion.
But you can make that view popular with your colleagues. This is why you lobby and get the majority in what you do over there.
But not necessarily. That's why you do your lobby and you make your case. And because your colleagues don't agree with you, so you get vexed with them, no. Or you're upset with them, no. They have a right to their opinion also, like I have a right to my opinion and to express my opinion. And the majority opinion is what is going to go forward. And that's what it is. The majority opted for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I happen to be in a minority.
But you still have an opportunity because a resolution is still an embryo stage of the whole discussion with war crimes court. It's a late for you to maybe meet the president, meet the leadership of the Senate, and say, okay, you know what, let's undo this and push this for a referendum and not decide for the rest of the country.
No, the decision has already been made. My case has been made. My voice has been heard, and the majority have taken the day. Move on to another matter.
It's not a bill anyway.
No,
it's a resolution. It's not a bill.
No, it's a joint resolution. Look, if you want to get technical in Liberia today, even the House of Representatives is a joint resolution, which means, yes, a joint resolution can be, it's a statute. Once the president signed it, then of course it becomes law. It's precedent.
Resolution?
A joint resolution from both houses signed by the president is law.
Is it not vulnerable to change?
Of course it's vulnerable to change. You can change it anytime. There's no way that you cannot change anything. Even our constitution can be changed with a referendum, with amended with a referendum. So there's nothing that is written in stone, and it should be that way, because as the society get more complex and complicated, you need to amend some of these laws. You need to change some of these laws. Even in Liberia, our constitution needs to be amended. There are provisions in the constitution that just doesn't apply today.
So do you think this will go through?
Well, I think if the majority of the lawmakers want it, I don't know the executive position. Whatever the executive position is, it's in the lap of the executive. So, there's nothing one can say or do right now.
So you're giving me the impression that there is no block on this particular war crime code. You have pro-government block and opposition block. There's no block surrounding this.
No, the block issue is a political tool that you use in the legislature, but doesn't mean that because you're a member of a bloc that you cannot support a position that your bloc does not agree with.
No, I'm saying no bloc does exist on this particular topic.
No, it's not a bloc. You see, the bloc is mostly for policy issue. So when you come to these kinds of things, the bloc will say, look, but we have a different of views in our bloc. The senators have different opinion, and therefore go and express your opinion. The bloc doesn't control your opinion or your views or how you see things. The bloc is like a caucus that you're looking for a consensus. If you don't get the consensus, then of course that's it. So you get consensus on some issues, but not all issues that you have bloc saying, oh, we must do this as a group. No.
What is the best way to end the culture of impunity in your mind?
Culture of impunity?
Yeah.
Persecution.
And have a reservation about the setting up of a court that will prosecute war and economic crimes. Don't you think you have, how do they call it? You you can have your cake and eat it and and all that. Don't you think that's what you're doing?
Do we have laws in this country? Do we have courts in this country that can prosecute economic crime? The answer is yes. We do have it. We do have courts that are set up already. Okay, so that's really not in my mind an issue for us, for our country. Our country is strong. Now, if you look at the war crime issue, you look at the Wallenberg court that was set up for World War II for the Hitler group. You will see that it transcends beyond the borders of Germany. If you're going to set up a war crime court, and it was done internationally, we're part of all the international bodies that I know of. UN, ECOWAS, AU, and all these bodies have their own arm of justice or judiciary system. We can look at it and say, if the international community comes in and say, well, look, we want to form a war crime court, that's fine. But if we say we just want to form a special court to prosecute somebody who killed 50 persons, there are laws on our books for murder that we can take those people, indict them, take them to court, find them guilty, imprison them, move them, take them away from the society.
But you need a court that has international backing.
No,
for murder of the international community.
For murder,
you need a war crimes against
humanity is different. I'm talking about murder. I'm talking about somebody who's going to steal. I'm talking about somebody who embezzle. So if you do that, we have the laws on the books and we have the institutions in this country to persecute them. The judiciary is here. So I'm not, this war crime thing, as far as I'm concerned, is beyond me. My opinion is known. I've made it clear where I stand on this matter. I believe that the Liberian people should be given the opportunity to say yes or no, and not a handful of people.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show. Senator Gbehzohngar Findley is my guest this morning. My name is Varflay Kamara. Let's talk the last topic, Senator. Then we try to take calls. Is you served as a foreign minister before, and you have an understanding of our foreign service. There are issues that you know of. There are issues about Liberian passports, and which I think started under your time at the foreign ministry. But the government and the authorities at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they are taking some steps. You are aware of the recalling of service and diplomatic and passports, all these passports. Do you have any problem with how the new foreign minister is proceeding with, in the words of some of the authorities of the government, saying to bring sanctity and dignity to our traveling documents?
Well,
what's your reading of that?
Let me put it in the right perspective. I think people have put this whole passport thing out of sync. Okay, prior to me becoming foreign minister, you had issues with passport or you had issues with traveling documents. I believe that the Liberian passport under the previous regime was safe.
Under the previous regime?
Under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Oh, okay.
Under President Weah. Because if it wasn't, trust me, no Liberian would have gotten a visa to go to travel to the United States, to Europe, to China. So when you're talking about Liberian passport, this Liberian passport, that is one of the safest passports. There is no way you can fake a Liberian passport.
But the frequency of people getting visa,
you cannot fake a Liberian passport.
The frequency of people getting visa on Ellen was not as.
No, this is when you're making. It doesn't matter. Once they issue you that visa in your passport, which means your passport have passed all the security checks in these countries. Yes, there were issues. There are issues with passport, people getting passport who shouldn't have gotten some passports. There are issues. In fact, it was President Weah who caught the passport director in a criminal syndicate selling Liberian ordinary passports. That you don't know. I'm saying it today. There are a lot of issues that people just get up and just talk.
No, but for the fact
And
that
that
we
is
were
what
sanctioned.
that is why if what people are saying that the Liberian passport is this passport is that, and the US and the Europeans and the Chinese were to take it into consideration, you will not be able to travel on a Liberian passport to their country. You will not. They will not issue you a visa.
There were reports that our passport landed in the hands of criminals. You don't know about that?
That can happen. That can happen.
It was on the increase.
No, I don't. Not under my regime as foreign minister. Under my regime as foreign minister, before you got a passport, yes, you had to go through certain. There are procedures, and some of those procedures can be what they call bypass. You need police clearance. You can get a police clearance for a passport. You need birth certificate. You could get a birth certificate. Say, if you brought a birth certificate or you were born, let's say, for example, in Nigeria, and you came to Liberia, your name was Obasanjo. You came to Liberia and you say Varflay Kamara, and you bring a certificate as Varflay Kamara. You expect the passport director to do what? He has to go on that particular document. So there are a lot of issues.
What was the problem?
There are a lot of issues that people don't want to accept the fact that the passport, Liberian passport, are safe. Because if it wasn't safe, you would not get a visa.
But
no, Varflay, this is the issue. The issue of criminality. No. The issue of criminality. You will disagree because this is the issue. The issue of criminality is different.
For the fact that there are Liberians that are getting visa, and that the international community, especially the US and the Europeans, don't outrightly ban our passport means our passport is safe.
It's safe. It is safe because let me tell you why. Your passport have certain features in it that cannot be fake, that cannot be reproduced.
Did you read a statement?
It cannot be reproduced. I am telling you.
Senator,
you see, because you want to convince me. What I know what I'm telling you that I'm wrong.
Yeah, I want to ask you something. Did you read the back-to-back statements from the U.S. Embassy when the foreign minister announced the retrieval, the recalling of these passports?
Did the Americans say the passport was not safe?
Did you read the statement?
Did they say our passport are not safe and will not meet the check?
They alluded to the fact that our passport had issues.
Yeah, there are issues. We agree that there are issues. We agree that there may be some criminality there. But to say Liberian passport, because they recall, that means to say they are not safe. No, that's not true. And it's misleading. It is misleading. Yes, you have some criminality there. We're not going to discuss that because that will happen anywhere in the world. But in terms of the sanctity of the Liberian passport, I challenge anybody. You cannot fake or reproduce a Liberian passport, and when you leave from here and get to Ghana, they will catch you.
No, it is not.
Even right here to the immigration office.
No, Senator, it is not the argument. It is not the argument.
Okay, what is your argument?
No, it is not the argument.
Maybe I don't understand now. Make me understand.
It is not the argument about reproduction of the passport or deduplication of the passport. It is the argument about issuance.
So you got people now who are criminals, who are involved in criminal activities that are working in the passport section.
How these passports land in the hands of criminals?
Now that's an issue you want to raise. It's a different issue because now we're talking about human error or human behavior. But to say our passport, the sanctity of our passport is a problem, no, it's not. The problem is an integrity problem in our institutions.
And when did they all start? The whole passport?
Well, I know that when I was going to school in Europe, I had a friend from Ivory Coast who was Liberian, who didn't know Liberia at all. And now we're talking in the 80s. I know of when I was foreign minister that we had passport in the hands of people, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Cameroonians in South Korea, that today we could travel to South Korea on our ordinary passport and get a visa. One of the few countries in the world get a visa at the airport. We can't do that today. So there are a lot of issues, criminal issues around, not only passport, birth certificates, even our ID cards are being, so the issue, the issue that we should be addressing is how do we address these issues of integrity in our country.
So on a personal note, are you impressed by the current foreign ministers?
Well, I think the present current minister is doing a job. I think people don't know how difficult that job is. It's a very, very difficult job. You are responsible for the image of our country outside of the borders of Liberia. Very difficult. And so whoever becomes foreign minister, prior to becoming foreign minister, I thought it was a joke. But I can tell you that it's a very serious job. It's a very difficult job. You have to deal with difficulties and solutions. You have to find solutions to difficult problems. So I take my hat off to all those who have served as foreign minister. You come under criticism, they want to beat you up, but they don't understand. Most people don't understand what that job is. It's the job that is responsible for bringing so much to Liberia. So much to Liberia that the foreign minister don't receive credit for.
Okay, this is the Super Morning Show. Let's take calls. Call me on 07705818886, 07705818886, and be live on the Super Morning Show. This morning we have Senator Gbehzohngar Findley. He's my guest on the show this morning. We can take a call from this number. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. 30 seconds. We don't have time.
Yeah, I want to commend the honorable man in studio, but I just want to ask this question: why, when it comes to the economic war crime, why people don't talk about the economic side? They always talk about the war.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Okay, family, this is Lawrence calling you from the Vakante Fire District, number 1 this morning.
Yeah, Lawrence, 30 seconds.
Okay, let me just say hi to the former minister and also the senator of Audi. And we watch what he's saying, and someone will never order him. But when they talk about war crime code, sometimes hearing they also somehow we are thinking about Liberia that in jail. Just whether they don't are thinking for what I fell. So that's my concern this morning.
Thank you. Morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, this is Agashos Benjamin Newell from Bassa County. I'm following my senator this morning.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay, the issue about the resolution and that referendum the senator talking about, I think it's very important for us, the Liberian, not just a few handful of people or people in the legislature to just wake up and say, look, let us establish war and economic crime code in Liberia. So again, kudos to our senator and we're backing on that issue.
Thank you very much. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jesus Joyce. I'm calling from the traffic.
Yeah.
I'm just calling to appreciate your guest this morning. I think if we have people like him in studio every time educating the Liberians, we start being sentimental about things we should be educated about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're gonna take a call too on 07705818886. 07705818886. Let's hear from this person. Morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well,
good morning, Varflay, and good morning to your studio discussants, Senator Gbehzohngar Milton Findley, my political leader. This is Joseph Kotu. I'm calling from Gbehzohngar City, Bassa County. Well, I just want to appreciate the senator. He spoke very well, and I think he's one of the funniest speakers of our time, and we need to hail him for his ability to speak to issues that are critical, that is in the interest of Liberians and Liberians alive. So I want to say thanks on the Findley, and God bless you for your enlightenment this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Morning.
Morning, Bobby.
Good morning. What's your name?
Thank you, Varflay Kamara. This is Tony DJ.
Yeah.
I joined you this morning from the most abandoned district number 3 in Gbehzohngar County.
Let's hear you quickly, Sonny.
Varflay, I listened to the senator and the former minister of foreign affairs. You know, Varflay, that you quit the senator in trying to, explain his own work. But the senator was wrong when he was setting up position. Just imagine Nigeria was then equated on the international community to have people who are in possession of our passport around the world. That even brought down the value of our country. In fact, international community was not taking us serious to see criminals with a great passport around the world. Even
Okay, so then
I believe that in my mind, I think that the senator is a point that to us, and then we can move forward in this country. That everything will depend, Bobby. You wrong.
Thank you. Well, Senator, we'll hold it there. You can respond to the callers. The brother said you should.
But let him name one person that was caught with a Liberian passport that should not have had a Liberian passport. When I was there are several persons that had passports. You see, the foreign ministers sit upstairs. Yes, I have had oversight, not oversight, but supervision over the passport division. And when criminal activities go on, yes, the supervisor should be held responsible, but there are layers in issuing passports. And those responsibilities are given to other Liberians who should do the cross-check and cross-reference. Okay, if you bring in a fake birth certificate, we will not catch it because we don't have the system to catch it. If you bring in a fake police report, we will not catch it because we don't have the system to catch it. And then you get a Liberian passport.
But I mean, the fake can be detected.
And you cannot tell. That's why we ask for police clearance, because we don't know who the criminals are. We don't know who the criminals are. So it's not a question of justification. No. We are saying that these things will continue to happen in our country, and it happens all over the world. That you have people who are not Liberians that will obtain Liberian passport because they bring fake documents to foreign affairs. Until you have an integrated system, an integrated digital system, your ID card system, your immigration system, your police clearance system, your birth certificate system, all foreign ministry with the passport, all in one that it can cross-reference automatically with social security numbers. Each citizen is assigned a number. So there are a lot of things there.
Well, Senator, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. We have to end there, but thank you very much for being on this. Can you really imagine that it's 1 hour already?
There's 1 hour. Maybe I need to come back again. Because you didn't even touch some of the things I wanted you to touch.
Like what?
Well, we as politicians have issues because sometimes our supporters get excited and sometimes they feel we forget them. But we don't forget them. It's just that when you are elected, the workload becomes so heavy that sometimes they feel, oh, Papi not looking at us, or Oma not looking at us.
We'll do part 2 of this.
Yeah. So I just want to tell all my supporters, we haven't forgotten you all. We love you, and we look forward to working along with you as we move on.
Thank you very much. Senator Gbehzohngar Milton Findley is the senator of Grand Bassa County. My name is Varflay Kamara. You can join me tomorrow for another presentation of the Super Morning Show. Bye-bye.